Hi Stampers, it's Madeline from stampinwithmadeline.stampinup.net, and today we're going to be making a really adorable card that I came up with by watching a few different YouTube videos on different versions of this. So this is a really cute spinner card, it's called. So some people call the penny cards a spinner card as well, but this one I think is truly a different kind of spinner card. So what you do when you mail this is you arm it, it's called. So what I just did, you twist it up so that when the person opens it, it spins around. Isn't that so cute? I just love that. Let me do that one more time. So you arm it, and then you would mail it just like this, so it's nice and flat, so it's easy to mail, and then when you open it, the person gets a really cute action card. So we're going to do basically the same version of this, just with some different designer paper, and it opens up so you're able to write in here if you'd want with some kind of stamp. So let's get started. Alright, so to make this card, we have a few different pieces of paper that we're using. So first, I did the cardstock for the base of the card in real red, and this is 5.5 by 8.25, and we're going to score that along the 4.25 line. Okay, next we have what's going to be the first layer. So this is going to be 5 by 3 7/8. Okay, and then we have our pattern paper. So what's really nice about this designer series paper, or DSP, is that it has two different layers that we're able to use. So this is going to be 4 5/8 by 3 5/8. Then we have our second paper. So I just did the reverse paper of what we're going to be using as our pattern paper, just so that it would match nicely. So that is going to be 1 inch by 3 inches. Then I just chose to do white for our sentiment on the front. So that is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 2.5. So that'll go right on top like this. Alright, and then I have just a scrap piece of Whisper White to do our characters on. So today we're going to be using the same as the example card. We're going to be using Santa and the Gingerbread Man. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to score our card. Okay, so I have scored my card. I'm just going to use the bone folder to flatten it down. It's just really nice to use a bone folder to make it so that everything is truly flat. Because even though we flatten it with our fingers, sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay, so then this is going to be the tricky part. This is what we're going to get out of the way first. So what we have to do is we have to line these up the way we want them in the card, and we have to put them through our Big Shot. So our Big Shot from Stampin' Up! Is like a big die cutter machine, and you order framelits or thinlits or embossing folders that the Big Shot will change your paper into different patterns or cut out things for you. So today we're going to be using the layering circles. Okay, so these are from that packet. So this is the biggest, I think it looks like a cloud, so we'll call it that, for the outside, and then this is the second to biggest circle. Okay, so this is going to create a nice clean cut part of our card. So as you can see, the inside is a circle, and the outside here is that cloud-like line. So what I was nervous about was this green going away. You know, you're doing it all at once. So I was worried that it was going to cut away, but actually it is the second layer, so it doesn't cut fully away, so it stays right there. So let me show you what I mean by that. So first, before we do anything with that, we're going to line these up the way that we want. So this is very important because this is the way that your card's going to look when it comes out all glued. Okay, so line it up exactly the way you want it. And what I do is I do a little cheating trick. Some people like tack it down, but I don't like doing that. I rip my card every single time I try to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Post-it notes. So this is my big trick of the day. This helps you so you don't have to tack it down. You don't have to worry about it coming up. And what you need to do is make sure the sticky part of this Post-it note is touching all the layers of your papers at least on 2 sides. If you want to be super careful, you could do it on both of these sides as well. Okay, so now we want to line this up in the center where we want our character to go, both of them. Okay, so we're gonna put these together. All right. Okay, and we're going to put that through our big shot. So again, line that up. You have to remember that we are putting this down here. So you want to have enough room between here and the bottom of our pattern paper in order to do that. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the big shot. Let me show you how I do that, just so if you have any questions, and then I will put it through the big shot. Okay, so what the big shot comes with is these platforms. So as you can see, this is a big platform, and then it comes with an adapter for thin dies. So that would be our framelits. So let's go through this. Here's the big shot platform. We do this thin die adapter that sits on top, and then we have these two they're like hard plastic plates that we lay down. So one we put down first, and then we carefully put down our card on it. So let's center that again. And then you put this on it. Okay, so the hard part with this is it's not the magnetic one, like some people use. So it will move, so you have to be careful. So I'm going to put this through the big shot. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. So here we are. Here is our all fully cut card. So here's a few tips for the big shot. So when we're putting this in, like I showed you like this. So actually when you put it in, it goes like this. So I did catch it before I put it through the big shot. You don't want that back cut out. Okay, so here's another tip. When you're doing this card, I would recommend that you do this first. So this cloud one, cloud framelit, you're going to do that first. Put it through twice, come back, and then you can do the circle. What I did is I did this and the circle at the same time, which you can totally do. But what I had to do was I had to go through again just with the circle because the green didn't fully cut out. And if you do this once by itself, you don't have to put together this. So see how this broke apart, which is fine. We can easily put it back together. But if you did it just with this first, it wouldn't have cut that into a circle. So learn from my mistakes and do this first, the cloud one, and then do the circle one. And it is quite a few layers, so you may have to do the circle one a few times. All right, so let's get back to the card. All right, so next we are going to stamp our characters. So let's set this card aside. We're going to take out that scrap piece of white that we have, and we're going to stamp our characters. So we have the Santa and we have the gingerbread, and as you can see, these are pretty stained, and that's okay because they're photopolymer stamps. They're going to stain because they are so high quality. They really soak up the ink. I have watched a few different videos that say you could do a yellow first, which is light, and then the black won't stain it, but it does stain, and I've tried a few different ways. I just had to get over it. It is going to stain, and that's okay. It's normal. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the real Santa in black and the gingerbread man in chocolate chip. So this is going to be the basic black we're going to use, and let's get started. Okay, so because these are photopolymer stamps, we need to use a piercing pad, because without a piercing pad, these aren't going to have nice, clean, stamped images like we want, okay? So, like I've showed you in a previous video, let me show you again. So these are the original woodblock stamps. So with a woodblock stamp, they have the block, they have a rubber stamp, they also have this foam in the middle, and that makes it kind of give. So you get a really nice, clean image. So with these photopolymer stamps, we have a block, we have the rubber, but we're missing that foam in the middle that gives it that give. So the piercing pad is what gives it that give, and that's why we use it. All right, so let's do the Santa. So we're going to do a tap, tap, tap. If you really push on this, you're not going to get a clean image. You just want to tap, tap, tap on it. Okay, you're going to try to push this all the way to this end. You're going to press down, hold it for 3 seconds. There we go, there's Santa. Okay, now we're going to do the gingerbread man in chocolate chip. Okay, here is our chocolate chip. We're going to switch Santa off the clear block. And we're going to go to our gingerbread man. Okay, so again, tap, tap, tap. Okay, make sure he's fully covered. All right, put it pretty close to the Santa. Press down for 3 seconds. And there we go. Look at what a crisp image that is. And I've done a lot of gingerbread men for this kind of card, and they just do not come out that clean without that piercing pad. All right, now we're going to get rid of this chocolate chip. And I'm actually going to do the sentiment in real red. That way it really matches with our paper. So let's get out our little piece of paper that we have set aside for the sentiment. Okay. We're going to tap, tap, tap in this real red. Make sure you get all of the words. Again, don't press too hard because then you're going to get it on the block around the words as well. And that's going to show up on this. Okay, so line it up really straight. When you get it lined up, press down. Hold for 3 seconds. There we go, look at that. Okay. All right, so let's put our inks away. Now, this is where we're going to get to some fun coloring. So, I just got a brand new order, and I got some new blender pens. Now, let me talk to you about blender pens. So, there's a few different things that you can order from Stampin' Up! For coloring. So, here are their markers. Here's a set of them. So, this is the Brights collection. So, you could buy the whole kit of the Brights inks, and then you could get these as well so that you can match your inks. So, what's nice about Stampin' Up!? Everything matches. You don't have to worry about colors not matching, markers not matching. They have got it. They've got it down to a science. And I'll show you the difference between the red marker and the red blender pen. So let's take out this red. So there's the red marker and here's the blender pen, and I'm going to teach you how to do both. So let me grab an extra Santa. Okay. So as you can see, I didn't use my piercing pad for this, so let me show you that. That is not a clean, crisp image like the other Santa, and that is because I forgot my piercing pad. So it really does truly make a difference. Look at his mustache, it doesn't really show up. But it'll work for this example. Alright, so I'm going to color with this marker. So this marker has 2 different sides. So this is the thick side. Let's use the thick side. And I'm going to color in his side of his jacket. So it's not going to be very neat. I just want to do this as an example for you. Alright, so here we go. There. Now, so that is the marker. So let me show you it up close. That is the marker version, which is very beautiful, very easy. Now, this is how you use the blender pen. So here's the blender pen. This has 2 different sides on it, both the same size, very easy to use. Alright, so we're going to take our stamping pad of real red and we're going to press it right in the middle. Just press it like you're pressing it a few times. Alright, then we're going to open it and see how it has that red like thumbprint on it? Okay, that's what we're actually going to use. So let me show you. We're going to take our blender pen, and this is all you need, the blender pen and this ink, and you're going to rub it around, really get some nice color on the tip. And we're going to color in this Santa. So what's nice about this is it's easy. You can use the ink, you don't need to buy all the markers, and that's really the benefit of this. So it is like a watercoloring technique. You feel like you're painting by, you know, dipping in the paint here, but it comes out almost like the marker, but it's just so nice because you don't need to get like a full set of markers. If you just want to try out like a color, this is a great way to do it. Okay, and And the way you clean it is you just take a baby wipe. Oop, that happens sometimes, it'll come out. Just wipe it down. It's not going to harm the blender pen that you have a stain of another ink on it. Just make sure you get all that you can get off. Okay, now that's the blender pen. So let me show you the difference. So again, I didn't color in the whole Santa, but what's nice is that the blender pen is just easy to move the ink around. Like there are some spots I could make darker if I wanted to. But with the marker, once it's down, it's down. So what's nice about the blender pens, you can move it around. So as you can see, these are kind of darker. So I could go back and like do the pants over again. So let's do that. Okay, now we are finished. So I cut them out. So what's nice about this stamp set, so this is what the stamp set is. It is Cookie Cutter Christmas. It is super adorable, has really great stamps in it. I love the teddy bear, and I think the reindeer is my other favorite. It's just a really great stamp set that I think everyone should have for the holidays, and I really hope that it continues to be in the catalog. So what they have with this is not framelits, but they have a punch that goes with it. So you could buy this and the punch and get 10% off on my website. So it's a really great deal, and it's super easy, and I love the punch. One of my fellow demonstrators has the punch, and it's much quicker than using scissors, so I would really recommend getting the bundle if you're thinking about getting the stamp set. All right, so now this is where we're going to need some baker's twine. All right, so I got this baker's twine. This is the Candy Cane Lane baker's twine. I just loved it, this white one with the red in it. That's really my favorite. So we're going to be using that. So we're going to cut a piece, and this is where I don't really measure, I just kind of eyeball it for this. So we're going to take our card, and we're going to take the string from the top to the bottom and just make a cut. So mark where you have it and make a cut. And you can always change that later on, because once we glue it down, then we can cut out the excess that we don't need. All right, so here, let's get rid of our piercing pad. Okay, so we want to put the string down before we put anything else down. So what we do is we are going to glue our characters to this string. I know it's hard to see, so maybe we will put the piercing pad here so you can see it. There we go. Okay, so if you are cutting these characters out with scissors, what I did is I cut them out and then I line them up together and try to get all the excess away that I can. All right, so I'm going to use my adhesive gun. You could do whatever you want. What I do is I put adhesive down the middle, okay? So just a few down the middle, and then you want to put it kind of across the middle like this. That way the two characters will stick together and the string will stick on. Then you want to center the string onto this character. So make sure it's like the equal amount above and below. It's okay if you're a little off. And then you're going to want to adhesive this character next. So put a few in the middle. If you're using glue, I wouldn't use too much just because you don't want it to escape out the edges. And then we're going to put him on top here. So line him up, especially if you're using permanent adhesive. And then just really press so that you can get it fully connected together. Okay, so now we have our interactive part of the card all set. All right, next we're going to start putting this card together. So this is the part where you want to be very careful about where you're placing this, because this is the whole card. All right, so what you want to do is take your adhesive and put a little bit up here. You don't want to get to the full top. You just want to put a little bit down and kind of put it in 3 places like I'm doing. That way you know that the string will definitely be connected. All right, now you want to pull this tight as you place it. So pull the string tight while making sure the character is centered in the circle, and kind of push it down on the adhesive. And it's okay if it comes up. We're going to be putting more papers on him to stay. Just try to get it as tight as you can while he still stays in the center there. All right. And the nice thing is you can really adjust this. If you're like, oh, he's not in the center, you can keep on adjusting. Until you put that next layer down, you won't be able to make changes. So now is the time. Okay, now we're all set with that. We're going to put our next layer on. So the green is going to go next. Okay, so put your adhesive all around it. Make sure everything is all glued down. Okay, then you're going to layer this. So the way that I do it is I make sure that I'm not seeing any of the red coming out of the inner circle, and I'm trying to line up the top with the card. So you have to do a lot of things at once, a lot of multitasking, but you got this. All right, now that that's down, see a little string is hanging off the top. That's fine. Let's clip that off. Okay, now that that's all cut off, we're going to put our red pattern down. So make this all adhesive. And we're going to line this one up. Oh my gosh, isn't this card so cute? I just love it. It was actually one of my first ever Stampin' Up! Cards that I made. I did it with a different punch because I didn't have the Framelits yet, but I just love this version of it. Okay, so now we're ready for our sentiment. So now we're going to adhesive the whatever color you have, but that smaller piece of designer series paper that you got ready. And we're going to glue that down. So center it in the middle. Push it down. Okay. Now we're going to take that stamp we made and we're going to put it right on top. So let's adhesive this again. Okay. Center that. Push it down. All right. Look at that. We're almost there. So we have one more step. So now we're going to put the inside in. So what you're going to do is I'm going to just use the circle. So you want to decide what one you want to do. So you want to either have the green background or the red background for this. I'm going to do, let's see which one I want to do. I'm going to do the green side. I really like that it's different than that red on the back of the card. So this is a little bit of a difficult part because you want to line up the circle exactly so that the red isn't showing through. So what I have done is I kind of put it in there like that. I adhesive it. Oh. That's okay if it comes up. Okay. So you want to make sure whatever pattern is lined up straight the way you want it. So let's put the trees up like that. Put it in the circle, lined up the way you want, and then I just simply try to close this card right on it so that it's nice and even. And push it down. Look at that. And look at that super adorable card. So again, you're going to arm it. This is how you would send it. And it feels a little crinkly when you close it if you arm it really tight, just because it's pulling at the paper. But then when you open it, it spins. I just love this card so much. Isn't it so cute? All right, Stampers, so this is our card for today. I am planning on doing 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We'll see how it goes, but that is my plan. I have my website, so don't forget about that, stampinwithmadelyn.stampinup.net. I also have a swap going on right now online that is 5 holiday swaps. It includes some cards, some tags, a candy bag, and also a thank you card, and it's really filling up fast, so I really want everyone that wants a chance to be in it to be in it. I am going to run it a few times a year, so I'm kind of hoping that the same people that jump on board will want to continue. And I'm doing these YouTubes, so please subscribe to my videos. I'm going to be trying to post as many as I can for my stampers, and I hope you like this card. I really love it. It's one of my favorites. I think every card is my favorite, but this was my real first project I ever did, so it's very close to my heart. All right, Stampers, well, keep stamping and give me a thumbs up or subscribe, well, thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Keep stamping, Stampers.